Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Natasha. If it is your first time here, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favorite foundations. So if you're interested in this video, just keep watching.
Now close your eyes.
Okay, so before I start going into my favorite foundations, I thought I should just let you guys know my skin type. I prefer to wear a light to medium coverage foundation, and I have pretty dry skin. Overall, I really like a hydrating foundation, a dewy finish foundation, something that's going to last pretty long, and something that isn't going to get weird and sink into lines and crack and like sink into my dry patches. So that's what I got working on with my skin here. If you have really oily skin, I'm not sure if any of these foundations will be great for you. I can't really speak on that because I don't have oily skin. But if you have normal skin, combination skin, dry skin, I think that these foundations I'm about to talk about will work great for you. So let's just jump into it. The first one I want to talk about today is this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation. I really like this foundation. Now, this foundation actually doesn't have a dewy finish to it. When I first bought this, I really thought it was going to have a dewy finish because it's marketed as a hydrating foundation. But it has just like a really nice, natural, almost demi-matte finish. But I will say I do feel like this is really hydrating. It doesn't sink into my lines. It doesn't cling to any dry patches. It's not really weird. I don't think that this is like a super long wear foundation. It is marketed as being hydrating long wear. I think you can get a good like 6-7 hours out of this, but it's going to start to break up a little bit around your mouth, around your nose, places where you tend to touch your face more, the jawline. So I wouldn't say that this guy is like super long wear, but I love this foundation on days where I'm like, I don't want to look super dewy. I just want like a nice natural finish face. Don't have a lot to do, but I still want to look good. Is this foundation. This has a really nice medium coverage. I do think that you can build this up to full coverage if you really want. And I really like the packaging. I like that it's in this tube and it has the pump on top. Mine is dirty. What are you going to do? I love a good pump on a foundation. If a foundation doesn't come with a pump, I'm kind of like, why? Why? Honestly, you know what's worse than not coming with a pump? Is it not coming with a pump and then them selling the pump separately? Like, what is that? Ugh. But I really like this guy. I think this is a really good foundation. Fenty has an amazing shade range. I'm pretty sure there's 40 shades in this, so you're definitely going to be able to find your shade. I use the shade 120. I think this is my perfect fall winter shade. In the summer, it is just like a tad bit too light, but that's nothing a little bit of bronzer can fix. Really, really like this foundation. I highly suggest this foundation. And actually, if you are an oily skin girl or if you just like a really matte finish, definitely check out the original Pro Filter foundation. That one is a super matte finish. It's really good for people with oily skin. So if you are interested in that, I think Fenty Beauty makes great complexion products. So scope this guy out. So the next foundation I have is actually a CC cream. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Buildable Blur Effect Technology Broad Spectrum SPF 35 CC cream. CC cream. Big name, lots of words going on in there. I really, really love this product. I love that it has SPF in it. This is my like quick out the door. Maybe I'm not even wearing any other makeup. I just want to put something to like even out my skin. Foundation CC cream. It is more of a light coverage. I think it could definitely build up to a medium coverage. I don't know about a full coverage. I think you'd have to really layer it on and it would get kind of uncomfortable if you did that. But I love this guy. It blends out so easily. It has a really nice pump to it, just like the Fenty foundation. It comes in the tube with the pump. Mine is dirty. That's just who I am. I've said this before, but I love Thrive Cosmetics. They're such an amazing brand. They do so much for the community. They have such great, clean products. And I like that they don't have a bunch of products coming out all the time. Like, I feel like when they come out with a product, they've worked on it for a really long time and they've done a bunch of testing and trying out and stuff like that. So like, I know their products are going to be good because I know they spend so much time on them. This is just like the perfect quick out the door foundation. I love this on days where I'm like not wearing a whole lot of makeup. I mean, I will even do a full face of makeup with this guy, but this is something that I'm not really going to have to worry about. It fades nicely throughout the day. I don't think that this is like a super long wear. Like, I want it to be like I have an event, I have something to do, 12 hours with this guy. This is more like I'm going to the lake, I'm going to be out and about in town all day. I want to make sure I have a little bit extra SPF in my foundation, going out, easy, breezy type of foundation. It's a CC cream. It's not even a foundation. I keep calling it a foundation because low-key, I think CC creams and foundations are like the same thing. It's like a coverage thing is like why they have different names. They have a really nice shade range. I use mine in the shade Light, and Thrive Cosmetics is now available at Ulta, which is awesome. I think it is available in some stores and online. They are only an e-commerce brand, so for the most part, you were only able to buy it on their website, which they have a great website. They have fast shipping. Nothing wrong with their website. You know how some places have like kind of a shitty website? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, it's 2020. There is zero excuse for you to have a product that you're selling and have a shitty website. Like, zero excuse. They got a really good website. Definitely check it out. Bomb. The next foundation I have here is this Bare Minerals Stick Foundation. This is the Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick with SPF 25. I have never been a huge stick foundation girl. Like, it just like didn't work out for me. I felt like it was too thick. I couldn't blend it out right. It looked like really thick on my face, sunk into all my lines. Just wasn't for me. I picked this guy up on a whim, mainly because it said it was like a hydrating stick foundation, and I love it. I have mine in the shade Birch 1.5. This stick foundation literally like blew my mind. I love taking this with me. Like, if I'm traveling, this will be the only foundation I'll bring because it's just so easy. You just paint it on your face. You can use a brush or a sponge. It blends out so nice. It feels so nice and light and thin and skin-like on your face. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't sink in anywhere weird. And it actually is pretty long wear. I was really surprised when I first started using this how long wear it really was, because sometimes I feel like stick foundations will break up a little bit more because they are that thicker consistency. This one is great. I have no problems layering concealers, creams, anything like that over it. It's just a really, really great stick foundation. And if you have dry skin and you've always wanted to get into a stick foundation, mainly just for the convenience is really why I like it, especially when you're going somewhere. It's small, it's compact, you don't have to worry about the container breaking, you don't have to worry about getting foundation all over your hand, and it's just easy. Just boom, 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 draw it on. And this actually is pretty full coverage. I think that you can really get a light to medium coverage or a super full coverage with it, just depending on how much you put on. I literally will just do line, 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 and that's more than enough. I'll have enough of the foundation on my face. It'll give me a nice medium coverage. It is really hydrating. It has a nice dewy natural finish, and it does have that extra little bump of SPF in there, which I really love. So if you're interested in a stick foundation, or even just you really like Bare Minerals, I would suggest checking this guy out. It is great. It is really hydrating and really dewy, so I'm not quite sure if you have oily skin if this will be great for you, but every time I go somewhere overnight, I bring this with me because it's just so easy, so convenient, and it's never let me down. So I love this guy. Okay, the next foundation I have is this guy right here. This is the Milani Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation. This is actually the foundation I have on my skin today. I love this foundation. I think it's one of the best foundations at the drugstore. It has a blue light technology in it. A lot of products are coming out saying they have that. I'm not really buying it. I can't really like, how do you tell if it's working or not? You know what I mean? It's supposed to help reduce like blue light sinking into your skin from like phones and laptops and TVs. You know, we're around so much technology nowadays. I don't really know about all that. I'm not a scientist. I don't know all the details. But I will say this foundation has an amazing shade range. I use the shade 180 Warm Shell. Like I said, it's the foundation I have on today. This will give you a really nice light to medium coverage or full coverage, just depending how much you put on. And the thing I really like about it is it has a nice natural dewy finish. but it feels so lightweight. Even on days where I'm like, I'm gonna layer this up, I'm gonna go really full coverage, I feel like it's still super lightweight on my skin. It doesn't sink into any lines, it doesn't get weird. I'll say it lasts about like 10 or so hours, and after that it does start to break up a little bit. Just life, you know, make stuff break out. You eat, you touch your face, you blow your nose, stuff like that. Your foundation is going to wear down. This holds up pretty well. I really, really like this guy. I picked this up at Ulta, but I think you can get it at Walmart, Ulta, pretty much anywhere that sells Milani, as well as their website. And I do love that for a drugstore foundation, they came out with such a huge shade range, because that's something the drugstore I think really struggles with. I don't really honestly like a lot of foundations from the drugstore, and this is like my favorite from the drugstore. I love this foundation. I mean, I think it looks great. It's what I got on my face right now. Really great, affordable pick. Okay, and lastly, we have this guy right here. This is the Tarte Found Sealer Multitasking Foundation. I really like this, and I really like the packaging. It's like kind of fun. It pops up, and you got that little pump right there, and then you just boom, lock it back down. This is called the Multitasking Foundation with SPF 20. So I believe it's called the Found Sealer because you should be able to use it as a foundation or a concealer, you know, put it all up there. I don't like doing that because I like to have, you know, different dimensions in my concealer and my foundation and different. That's just not my style. Okay, if that's your style, that's your style. It's just not mine. I love this foundation. I think honestly, like, this might be my favorite foundation of all time. I have mine in the shade 16N Fair Light Neutral. This is a really good shade for me. I honestly think it's like the perfect shade match for me. It's not too pink, it's not too yellow, it's not too gray. Sometimes when like foundations say they're neutral, really they're kind of like gray. It's not like that at all. I really like this. This has a really nice dewy finish. I love that it has SPF in it. I love that it makes my skin really dewy. I do find that this lasts pretty long. I would say 10 or so hours. I don't really wear my makeup longer than that, so I don't really care too much. Like, you know, sometimes the foundation will say like 24-hour wear. I'm like, I don't need that in my life. I'm not wearing it for that long. At some point I get tired and I want to wipe off my makeup. So 10 hours is pretty good for me. I love this foundation, and I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I feel like it has a really good shade range. I love the way it looks on my skin. I love the way it feels. It's really lightweight. Like I said, it doesn't sink into any lines or get weird throughout the day. It doesn't break up. It has a really nice, hydrating, dewy finish. This is that foundation that I feel like I wear the most out of all of my foundations. I just love this guy. It's never let me down. It mixes well with all of my primers, all of my concealers, all of my cream products. It's just a really nice foundation, and I just love when all my foundations have that extra kick of SPF in it because I already put it on my face, and I like just, you know, layering it, have a little bit extra in there. This is a really good foundation. I love the packaging. That's it. I don't really have too much more to say about it. It is what it is. And that's it. Those are my top 5 favorite foundations. I do plan on continuing on this video idea. I'm going to do concealers, blushes, eyeshadow palettes, all of that good stuff, especially since we've just been sitting at home. I feel like I've really just been like digging through all my stuff and looking at everything and thinking like, what are my absolute favorites, my top 5 in each category. So keep an eye out for that. I'm definitely going to be doing that for, you know, each category of makeup I got going on here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post here on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!